let's go. So we're going to start full press up position. Okay, we're starting with the usual suspects this morning, so take your time. Get to know how you're feeling this morning and start to incorporate it into your warm-up. So if your hamstrings are feeling tight, if your ankles are feeling pretty tight, make them the focus this morning. We're trying to eradicate any tightness. First time you're in this stretch, just try to establish the best position you possibly can. Legs are straight, knees are locked out, but remember, we're not pushing the knees back. We don't want to be putting too much stress on the knees, so even though they're locked out, I don't want you to think about trying to bend them the wrong way around. So I'm pushing back, 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 trying to lift your hips as you push them back also, because remember, we're trying to stretch into the correct position rather than stretch and have our hips pulled down into a curve. From here, when you're ready, and only when you're ready, bring the feet closer together, and we're going to drop those hips down, and we're going to push up through, get a good stretch up the front, feel the core, feel the neck. Okay, it's important you get that neck in. Keep the shoulder blades pulled together, point the chin, point the nose, and shut the mouth. Okay, when you shut the mouth, you'll feel a damn good stretch running up your neck. Good, beautiful. Fantastic. Stop farting about with your 3 stones, Karen. It's about high time you had a tripod. Sort it out. Right, and then from here, we're going to lift the hips back in to the second and final time we're going to be holding this one. So make the most of it. Again, it's down to you. If you want to add your side twists in, add your side twists in of the torso. If you want to reach across, grab the opposite leg, you do that, okay? If you don't want to do it, then that's down to you. But you know how you feel. You can feel any tightness. The whole point in this isn't just to hold the position because I'm telling you to. It's to try and get rid of any tightness, any stiffness that you're feeling while you're in this position. Good, and once more, once you're ready, let's drop down with those hips and lift up with that chest, point that nose towards the sky. Shoulder blades pulled together. Good work, everybody. Drop to the knees. I want you to take a big forward lunge. Easier if I show you from the side. Familiar one, we've not done it in a while. I'm going to throw it in this morning because it's quite apparent people are losing the mobility, including me in this area. So we're going to take a big forward step. You know it's forward far enough because your shin's going to be vertical. Now I want you to put your hand flat on the floor. Don't cheat this one, because if you cheat, there really is no point to it. One hand flat on the floor, the other hand is going to be pinning onto the foot, okay, which is going to naturally put your elbow on the inside of your knee. Now, don't worry, I'm going to swing around so you can see me from the front. But from the side, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to push my hips down and then pretend I've got a big logo on my t-shirt that I'm trying to present forwards. Okay, so I'm lifting that chest up, trying to get the back nice and straight, and I'm going to feel a damn good stretch in at my groin, but also if that back leg, if the hips are pretty jammed up tight, you're going to feel the hip flexor getting it too. So while I'm in this position, this is what I should be looking like from the front. This is what you should be looking like. Everybody should look like this, okay? How straight you can get your back and chest is just a case of mobility. But either way, take it as far as you possibly can, okay? Push those hips down, force that chest up. And what we're doing here is mobilizing ourselves into the position of a squat. Now, you can understand straight away when I'm telling you to drive your toes into the ground, don't drive your toes into the ground and try and pull that knee apart and try and push down. See how your foot's wobbling all over the shop? Okay, drive the toes hard into the ground and suddenly that foot is as if it's been cemented to the ground. So that's an example of why we do it. Not just the one reason why, but there's many reasons. But force that chest up, get a damn good stretch. Let's get these hips opened up. Beautiful. Good. And now we're going to change. We're going to change. Hoot. Now remember, when you change legs, make sure we're getting this leg forward far enough so that our shin's vertical, okay? Because again, some people will bring it too short or it's far too close to them, and then they can get their chest up nice and proud and they feel like, oh, I'm getting in a good position here. When in actual fact, you need to get that foot forward far enough. Pin, because again, another cheat you see is people going up onto the fingertips, okay? You're not really getting the benefit. You want to be getting yourself nice and flat. If it feels difficult, all the more reason to do it, okay? And chances are you're probably in the right position. So I'm pushing the hips down, feeling a hell of a stretch in the groin, maybe in the hip flexor of the back leg, and then I'm forcing that chest up. Force the chest up. Good. Beautiful. There's some enthusiastic faces staring back at me this morning. There's Karen's phone's away again. Karen, you better move inside. You're going to get blown away. Good. Right. So stand up there, everybody. Good. So that's good. All we're doing there is cut myself in half, look at one leg. When I'm in that squat position that we've just done, I'm replicating being at the bottom of a squat. So I'm addressing any tightness that might be causing me not to get down into a squat, apart from ankle mobility. Right, feet together, knees soft. I'm getting up nice and tall, I'm getting up nice and proud. I'm going to tuck my chin in while maintaining that nice tall position. I feel the stretch in my neck, going into my upper back. I'm going to start rolling myself up, trying to get my chin tucked in as tightly as I can. Good, and again, it's your chance to address what's feeling tight. Good one for the hammies, glutes, lower back, this one. When you get to the bottom or when it feels you can't go any further, try to enhance it and then slowly release, coming back out, the reverse process of when you went into it, okay? So boom, 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 one vertebrae at a time. Good, right, we're doing one more, okay? Make the most of it, stand up tall, tuck that chin in, drop the chest, keep it going, let it flow. All you're trying to do is each time you get down a bit more, you're just trying to compact yourself up. Think about the spine. We're rolling it up. Rolling it up. Good. And then we release there. Grab a hold of the foot, quick quad pulses. Let's call them quad pulses. We're all familiar with them now. We're grabbing a hold of the laces. We're pulling the knees together straight away. If we're feeling ourselves getting pulled forward a wee bit, we're going to squeeze the butt, okay, to bring those hips through. Release the butt. Squeeze the butt. Release the butt. All while we're trying to pull that foot into your butt without letting those knees come apart, okay? Now remember, we're squeezing through with the butt to lock those hips forwards, not leaning back, okay? So we shouldn't feel we're back inversing. Once that starts to feel like you're loosening it off a wee bit, again, for some people, quads, they'll feel all right. This will feel maybe unnecessary, but other people, you'll feel straight away when you squeeze through with that butt how tied up tight things can be, okay? So it's not a mobility class, okay? We're not really going to improve our mobility when we're doing this, but what we are going to do is unlock the mobility we've already got that might not just be flowing too well this morning. Right, into our squats. So feet shoulder width apart. They're your squats, okay? If you want to do 10 or you want to do 2 slow, controlled stretches, that's up to you. But either way, we're getting down, okay? For most people, it's going to be a groin stretch. So elbows are into the knees, forcing the chest up, and that's the area where most people are probably going to be attacking. It's up to you, okay? If you want to get up, down, you want to do a few squats, it's you. It's based off of feel, so there's no point copying me, okay? But if you're able to, while you're down there, just try to sit. You can see I'm shifting. While maintaining this groin stretch, I'm shifting the weight across and trying to set my hamstring onto my calf, okay? While trying not to let my heel come off the floor. Your heel probably will come off the floor, you can see mine is, but you're trying not to. And the reason for that is a lot of people will just shift forward and put a lot of stress on their knee, okay, without actually getting much stretch of the calf. So when you're doing that, if you're able to, you will have to be able to break parallel on your squats. So if your mobility is pretty awful, you may not be able to stretch the calves out. If your calves are feeling pretty tight, you know the stretches we can do up against the wall, blah, blah, blah. Okay, simple. Right, let's get another one in, or a few more, or continue what you're doing. And the idea of this point that you're at now, you should feel like you're getting down to your normal depth of a squat. Okay, so you should feel like everything's starting to flow a bit better. Yep, you might be a little bit tired. Muscles might be burning at this stage, okay? Boo-hoo. You've still got the mobility unlocked. You've still managed to get rid of that stiffness. Right, swings, side swings, toe touches. Let's go for it. Holding on to something preferably, okay? Otherwise, you'll struggle to get that full range of the swing, okay? So we're going for a full swing. Pelvis, what's it doing? Hee-haw, you're right, nothing. It should not be moving. It should not be swaying. Pelvis is fixed in position. I'm taking this as high and as far back as I can. Feeling that stretch in my hamstrings on the forward swing. Feeling it in the groin, maybe hip flexor area on the way back. Feeling the glutes activate to some degree. Once things start to feel like they're flowing pretty well, I change legs. If things are feeling that they're flowing pretty well from the get-go, just do 10. So actually think about what we're doing here. We're stretching on the move, dynamic stretching, we're stretching on the move. So you're trying to swing your leg high enough that you feel that stretch kick in. And each time you swing, you're just trying to go a little bit further. Just a little bit further. Same way across the bodies. Okay, a lot of people just focus on the lift of the leg. When you swing that leg across your body, if you swing it far enough, you'll feel the stretch into your glutes. You'll feel the hip area getting a stretch out. So don't disregard the importance of swinging it across the body as well as lifting it up. And then I'm changing legs again when things start to feel well. Again, you've got that foot on the ground. You're driving the toes into the ground, demonstrating to yourself how much more stable the foot is. Therefore, how much more stable the knee is, and the hip, etc. Ground taps next. So again, it's up to you. Play around with the position. Okay, you can go shoulder width, close, real wide. Play around with it. If you're not sure, okay, start neutral, as in shoulder width. Push those hips back. Oh, my hammies are feeling real stiff. So I'm going to bring these feet closer together. And that's going to address the hammies a wee bit more. Or my groin's still feeling a wee bit tight, so I'm going to go a wee bit wider. Okay, or if you're feeling like you just need a bit of everything, do a few and vary your stance each time. Remember, the point here is I'm trying to push my hips back. Even when I break form to reach behind my feet to get that lower back, I'm still trying to imagine my butt, my hips have been sucked behind me as I go. Okay, so try not to break form. Try not to just reach for the floor when you're doing that. Right, sip of water if you need it, and then we're going to get our upper body sequence done quickly, and then we're getting straight into the small circuit, okay? Oh. Let's go for it. When you're ready, jogging on the spot, nice and light on the feet, okay? Again, if things are feeling maybe a wee bit tender, a wee bit stiff, just start off with that minimal jog. But the idea is to break it in, loosen it off, get rid of those aches and pains and start turning it into an actual jog, okay? So think about the knees. We're pulling those knees up to the front. Good. Focus on your breathing. We are trying, you're trying to get your heart rate up here, okay? We're going to start off with nice light punches forwards. Good. So don't hold back. We're trying to get, we're definitely not going to get our working heart rate up, but we're trying to get the heart rate elevated at least. So make sure you're trying to do that. Don't hold off. Out to the sides. So this morning's workout, I'm excited because it's one of them. I've got no idea. We could finish it this morning and everybody's like, oh, that was just a bit easy, that. Or it might not be. I really don't have a clue. I think it might be all right, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be brutal. I'm pretty confident. I would say I'm 90% confident it's not going to be brutal, but doesn't mean to say it's easy, up towards the sky. I think it's one of them. Someone in the audience might think, that was easy. Someone else might think, oh my God, that was horrendous. It's the effort you put in this morning. There's no rep count. You're just working as hard as you can for time. Good. And then punching down. So remember that. Push yourself hard. Push yourself hard from the get-go. Regardless of how you're feeling, just get it done. Good. Arms across the chest. So remember, before we start, let's get the shoulder blades. Fix them if you need to. Okay, if you're feeling like you're naturally just rounding your shoulders, pull them together and then start your shoulder sequence. And the idea is, we're trying our best to keep these shoulders pulled together throughout. Stay nice and light on these feet, keep them moving. Good. Fantastic. Feel that stretching, just like the leg swings each time. Just try and take it a wee bit further. Good. If you're feeling tightness in a specific angle, get stuck into it. Straight arms up. Good. Try not to lean back. Instead, counter it by pushing your body forward. Imagine someone's there with a hand on your upper back, and when you lift the arms, they're pushing you into them, pushing you forward, feeling that stretch. Keep the shoulder blades pulled together. Don't let them shrug. Don't let them shrug up. Keep them pulled together and down. Good, and then from here to the sides, palms facing at the top, palms facing your thigh on the way down. Good. Nice and graceful. Think about the movement. Think about the shoulder joint, okay? That's what should be moving here. We shouldn't be bringing everything into a shrug and going, whoa. Good. Shoulder shrugs forwards. Big. shoulder shrugs as fast as you can, but maintaining that full range. So don't just go like this, big circles. Good, and then we're going into our big circles back the way. And finally, your neck, okay, the important one, especially if it's an early morning, God, it's not early morning, is it? Tuck the chin in. First thing in the morning circuit, shall we say, just take your time. Just get rid or address any tightness. So don't just go fast. To one way, to the other. Keep it in the neck itself. Try to keep the shoulders level. Good. So, it's your 60 seconds. It's your 60 seconds to fart about, sort your life out, keep the warm-up going, address any points that you need to address personal to you. Right. It's the 30, 30, 30, 15 circuit. Whack, okay. Right, four mini circuits we're doing this morning. Each mini circuit is 3 exercises. We must practice the exercises before each circuit so that you know them, because it's one of them where it just flows. Your first exercise, this is not a spectator sport, so I expect once I've done a rep or two to see everybody on screen and you at home on the recorded version practicing this as an additional warm-up. Your first exercise is an inchworm, shoulder tap, 2, 3, 4, walk up, stand up, okay, let's practice that. So from the front, I'm squatting down, I'm walking out, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying not to let my hips sway as I lift these arms, okay? That arm movement is activating my core, okay? So keep things tight. When I come up, I lift the butt, I walk in and I stand up tall. Inchworm with 4 shoulder taps. Your second exercise is knees to chest to sky. I'm pretty sure we're confident with it now. Separate it, knees to chest, to sky, to chest, and out. Okay, so it looks like this. Bunch, down, out. We're going vertical. We are not going that way. Okay, I want you to try and use the deep core muscles to fire those legs vertical. Okay, you're trying to get as much of your hip, lower back area off the ground as possible. Okay, your third exercise is squat jumps, but I want you to make sure you add a pause at the bottom. Why? Because it's going to force people who get a bit excited to focus on doing the best possible squats they can, rather than letting these things flow, okay? So you're down, pause, up, down, pause, up. It's giving you enough time to make sure you're getting down far enough. Stand by, 30 seconds we begin. How it's going to work, because it's the 30, 30, 30, 15. Need a breath. It's going to be 30 seconds on exercise 1, straight into exercise 2, straight into exercise 3, 30 seconds on each, and then we get 15 seconds rest only. And then we go back to exercise 1, 2, 3, then 15 seconds rest. Then we do exercise 1, 2, 3 again, okay? So it's roughly 5-minute workouts. Work hard, 3 seconds, inchworm, shoulder taps. We're all doing it together, let's go. So I walk out, establish that solid position. When you walk out, don't lift your arm off the ground for your shoulder tap until you feel your butt and core activate at the bottom. Now when you stand up, what do? We squeeze the butt. That was the noise of my butt squeezing. Yours may make the same noise. Hit! Feel it, good. That's us, straight into the next rep. Keep going. Remember, 3, 2, 1. We're on our backs, knees to chest to sky. No rest, 30 seconds. Keep it controlled. Think of that word graceful, okay? Try to punch the feet out gracefully. We don't want to come flopping down. Try to control the descent. My arms are out to the side, supporting my balance, okay? They're not there to push into the ground. I want to use all my core yet to get up. Squat jumps when the buzzer goes. Straight up on your feet. Straight up, remember. We're down, we pause, we jump. We're down, we pause, we jump. We're pulling those knees apart. We're driving the toes into the ground. When you jump, open up the chest. Good. Your pause is just long enough to say pause and then punch up explosively, keeping that chest proud. Land soft. Good, 15 seconds. Breathe, okay, breathe. So we do all that again now, okay? Stand by. Inchworm shoulder taps times 4. I don't ever remember doing this format, but hey, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, those shoulder taps, you should feel the core activate. If you don't, you've probably got your bahookie too high. So that's why when you walk out, you feel the core, you feel the butt squeeze before you lift an arm off, okay? So get down, full press up position. Then your shoulder grabs. Squeeze the butt at the top. Knees to chest to sky. Go. Now come on. Work hard. Be fast on these transitions. Now with your knees to chest to sky, add a pause at the top and a pause at the bottom. Just to feel a good quality contraction of the core muscles. Punch up explosively, down under control. Squat jumps next. Squat jumps next. Straight up we go. On your feet. Down, pause, big jump. Focus on a big jump. Ooh. Think about your squat mechanics. Pulling my knees apart, driving my toes into the ground, twisting my feet, screwing my feet into the ground. Keep my chest proud. Good. There you are. Walk around, catch your breath. So the intensity this morning is very much controlled by you. Stand by. Last run through. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Squat. Inchworm out. 4 shoulder taps. Walk in. Stand up out of your squat and squeeze the butt. So an inchworm, we're actually getting a hell of a lot out of an inchworm if you do them properly. You should be walking in, bending the knees. Therefore, we're effectively doing a squat in and out of it. Stand by, knees to chest to sky, go. We're down on the floor, we're up. Doesn't matter if your first rep's a bit of a mess. The whole point is, as I always say to you, just get the first rep done and try not to think too much about it. Don't take a sneaky breather when the buzzer goes. Just get the first rep done. Squat jumps next, squat jumps next. 5 seconds, wait for the buzzer. Don't preempt it. Go, up on your feet. First rep might be a wee bit messy. Test and adjust. Drive the toes, pull the knees apart. Keep that chest proud. Don't let yourself fall forward. If you focus on bending the knees, pulling them apart and pushing those hips back, you'll do everything you can to combat that happening. Walk around, catch your breath. So that's it, everybody. As in, that's circuit 1 done, not the workout. Good. So circuit 1's done. I'll give you 15 seconds to get a sip of water, to breathe, and now I want you to listen. Now this first exercise, it's one that quite often when I'm looking on screen, I see a lot of people looking confused or maybe not quite sure, so now's the time. Get it right. It's a tricep extension, everyone. So please look closely, especially if you've got a tiny little screen. Get your eyeball on it. I'm flat, okay, on the forearms, as if I was doing an elbow plank, flat. My hands, this is where the whole work comes from. I push my hands into the ground, and then I draw up my elbows. I push through my hands, and then I drop my elbows. Now, a lot of the time I see people doing that going, this is easy. It's because you need to, if you look at me now, I'm on my knees, I'm not on my feet, and I'm going to lean over my hands. When I lean over my hands, a hell of a lot of body weight, boom, suddenly it becomes a hell of a lot harder. Happy? So it's down, punch, down, and you're trying, I would say to you, get as much body weight on there that 10 reps is difficult, okay? If you're battering the reps out, you need more body weight on there. I want you struggling to complete 10. Your second exercise is a diamond sit-up. Simple. We're putting the soles of the feet together, which is going to open up the legs, which is going to deactivate these hip flexors, and as a result, boom, you're going to feel the core working a lot harder. Elbows on the ground, punch up. Okay, you should be practicing these. Let's go. Now, when we're coming up, you're trying to be powerful, you're trying to be explosive. If you're struggling, everybody, to get up, look at my arms. Use them for a bit of momentum, but don't cheat yourself. Control the descent, bit of momentum with arms, only enough to get up. Finally, you're going to be doing lunges, okay? Big, prominent lunge forwards. Boom. I want you to turn them into jumping lunges if you're able to, as in you can do them. And if your lunges aren't so good, focus on regular lunges. Happy with that, everybody? Good work. Right, okay. So as always, do the exercises properly, do them to the best of your ability, and then the speed comes naturally. Don't try and do crap reps just to go faster. Your first exercise in 20 seconds is a tricep extension. Remember, I'm driving through the hands. If you're too far back like I am now, of course it's going to feel easy. There's hardly any weight on those arms. You want to get onto the knees, feel like you're going to fall forward if your hands weren't there. Get as much weight over your arms as you can. Push. Okay, that should be tough. Okay, stand by. Go. And the beauty of this is, you can really load those arms up. And when you start to feel that you can't do many more, you just start to ease the weight off your arms a little bit by leaning back the way. Okay, so you can do that. I want you to really struggle. Imagine you're doing a set of 10. Well, don't imagine. Aim for a set of 10, but you're struggling to get to 10. Okay, 3 seconds. We're into diamond sit-ups. I want you to be fast. Soles of the feet together. Straight away a go. Now, I want you to keep those feet as close to the bum as you can. Again, that's a mobility thing. If you're pretty jammed up tight in the groin, you'll find that hard. What I want you to do is strive to keep the feet, boom, on the ground. Don't lift your feet up. Now, if you see me now, punching up, explosive, it's power. Okay, if you try to come up slow, you'll probably go, hit. Next exercise, your lunges. Straight up on your feet. Let's get these lunges done. It's either going to be jumping lunges, or it's going to be regular lunges. Now, when you're doing your lunges, everybody, just imagine you're doing your squats. What we don't want to happen is your knee. Don't let that knee cave in. Make sure you're still trying to pull the knees apart. You should feel stability in the knee. Your knee should not be caving in the way. If it is, revert to regular lunges and really focus on pulling that knee apart. Good. Fantastic. 15 seconds rest. So don't let those knees cave in ever. It's as simple as that. You're putting tremendous stress on them, and it's probably coming from your ankle. Right, tricep extensions. Go. So really load the arms up. Okay, what this is working, as if you need me to tell you, is your triceps. Okay, it's just like a press up, but we've taken the chest out of the equation and the hell of a lot of the shoulders. Okay, so it becomes a lot of work for those triceps, which by now you'll be feeling burning away. Good, so keep it controlled. Treat it like a strength exercise. Diamond sit-ups. Go, fast. Swing the legs around, feet together, down and up. And again, if you're really struggling with these, control your descent. When you get up, control the descent on the way down. So go down slow as you can. Don't just flop down. Because it's on the way down, that control, that's what's going to apply a lot of stress to the muscles. That is what's going to cause the damage. That's going to be repaired and make you stronger. Next exercise, lunges. Let's go. Lunges. So really think about it. Look at your knees now. This is where it kind of helps if you're in front of a mirror or in front of your camera, or just simply look down. You should not see your knee on the inside of your foot. If you are, try to pull it out more. The whole foot stays stable on the ground, and if you're still not able to, then I urge you, please, revert to regular lunges and really control it. Good, walk around, catch your breath. And if it's still happening when you're doing regular lunges, it's your ankles, okay, your ankles. But I won't bore you to death with that. You know how to stretch out your ankles, you know how to mobilize your ankles. Oh, we're straight into it. Go. I keep forgetting it's only 15 seconds. Tricep extensions. Good. Last run through of circuit number 2. So remember, really try and load those arms up. Diamond sit-ups coming at you. So just swing those legs round and get onto that butt and get your first rep done. Straight away, let's go. So the core has to work a lot harder to get us up. Whereas with a regular sit-up like so, you can power up and pull yourself up with the hip flexors a bit more. That's why this is a bit harder for some people. Good, lunges. Or maybe you've been doing sit-ups and you've always got someone holding your feet, or you always put your feet underneath the couch. If that's what you normally do, you'll probably find diamond sit-ups real hard. And that's why when you've got those feet wedged or anchored, you can pull yourself up, and you will be, with your hip flexors a lot. That's why for some people, it's easier when you've got your feet wedged. Good. Circuit 2 is in the bag. Catch yourself a quick rest. Exercises on this next one are pretty simple, so it won't take as long. Take your 15, get a sip, shake out, focus on your breathing. Right, okay. So your 3 exercises this time. Dive, bomber, press-ups. Now, these are hard. They're meant to be hard. So if you find them hard and you maybe find yourself collapsing while you're doing them, that's okay. As long as you're not just going, oh, these are hard, I can't do them. Give them a go. So watch where the movement comes from. Everybody starts in the full press-up position, nice and tight. From here, I lift my hips up and back, just like the stretch we do as part of the warm-up. And then from here, I drop my head down, and I'm up. So it's just like that mobility exercise we do, okay? From here, lift the hips and back. So it's like a tricep extension meets a press-up. It's hard. If you have to, drop to the knees for this part. That's fine, but make sure you lift those knees back up. Watch out that you don't put too much stress on your lower back. Keep the core working, keep your core working hard. Exercise number 2, we're in the elbow plank position. The elbow plank position, feet together, knees together, butt squeezed, core squeezed. You lift your leg as high as you can. When you keep it straight, down. Lift it as high as you can, down. High as you can, down. Good, let's practice it then. Good. Now from what I'm seeing at home, okay, no offense to you, but if you look at me now, I see some people doing this, okay? What's wrong with that picture? My butt's too high. You're not going to feel your core working. All you're doing here is a really kind of crappy version of a glute exercise, okay? You need those hips down. You need to feel the core activating in your plank so that when you lift the leg up, you're enhancing it. If you're like this, okay, it's like a leg exercise, but not a very good one. So we should feel the core screaming. Remember, if you do it right and you fail after a couple reps, you're going to get better. Next exercise is a single leg glute bridge. Now, turns out these are pretty hard, okay? So if you struggle, if you watch me now, it's just a single leg glute bridge. You need to plant the foot, drive up, squeeze the butt, down, change legs. Drive up, squeeze the butt. If you can't get up because you don't have the strength in one leg to do that, and you find yourself hovering here, just revert back to your regular glute bridges, everybody, okay? And that is it. That's your 3 exercises. Any questions? Good. So the single leg glute bridges are hard. If you can't get the hips locked out, okay, and you can't feel the glutes working, just revert to regular glute bridges, in which I would say to you, it's probably better to start adding a kettlebell or something like that, because straight onto one leg is pretty damn hard. Now, we're going to get it done. Dive bomb press ups in 12 seconds. Remember, you can drop to the knees, but it's a matter of dropping to the knees when you need to drop to the knees, not when you feel like it, if that makes sense. Doesn't make sense, does it? Don't just drop to the knees automatically, okay? Your knees should come down. Hips up, dive bomb, lift the hips to get back up to the start position. Now you can see it's controlled. It's almost robotic-like. Think about what you're doing. And don't be hurting yourself. Good. This should be very difficult. After this, we're already pretty much in the position. Elbow plank with our leg raises. Straight in, onto the elbows. Lift the leg up, down. Lift the leg up, down. Now remember, I want you lifting that leg straight. Don't let the knee bend. You should feel the butt and the hammies working, but when you lift that leg up, you're really going to feel the core working. If you fail, so be it. You're probably doing it right, okay? Straight leg lift up. Don't bend the knee. Do not bend the knee. Good. It's controlled. That's why it's controlled. Good. Single leg glute bridges. Straight away we go. Or if you can't, get those hips high enough to feel the butt. Activate. Then you're going to do like regular glute bridges. Good work, everyone. Focus. Drive the foot. Remember, that tilt of the pelvis always. Imagine someone's pulling you up by the straight leg. 15 seconds rest, only 15 seconds. Enough time to shake out. On these elbow plank, legs should be coming up straight. It shouldn't be doing this. Okay, we're not doing this. Try to keep the leg as straight as you can so that we're lifting from here. Stand by, dive bombers. A tricep killer. But also quite a nice mobility exercise at the same time. Elbow plank, leg raises coming at you next. So before you rush into the leg raise, get that elbow plank position established. Go. Onto the elbows, feet together, knees together, butt squeezed, core squeezed, then lift the leg straight. Then lift the leg straight. Control. Lift it straight, everybody. As a result, you take it to the highest point and you'll feel your butt squeeze like hell. Also, your hammies working here. But don't, or at least try not to, deliberately bend the knee. Don't let those hips raise. Go for it, straight in. Oh, brain fart, what are we on? Ah! Glute bridges, go. Let's do it. I was just too engrossed. Glute bridges, everybody. So a nice combination of strength, controlled exercises this morning, put into a 30. Relax, 15 seconds, remember. So our heart rates should be working, but they most certainly shouldn't be hitting peak. Okay, we shouldn't be. Stand by, dive bomber press ups. Let's get it done. Lift the hips, drop down. See your chest, chin, mouth, beard, nose, whatever you've got, should be not hitting the ground, but scraping the ground. Okay? So if you've got a big nose and a big chin, like me, you're laughing. Elbow plank. Go, elbow plank, establish the position, right? That feels good, that feels tight. Now lift the leg. There's no sense lifting a leg if you're not in a good position. When you lift that leg, you're thinking about the hips. You're trying not to let them move, which demands further core activation. Single leg glute bridges coming at you next. Good, straight away, let's go. Single leg glute bridges, or if you're really, really struggling to get up, just do your regular glute bridges. So we're focusing on still all the usual things about a glute bridge. Tilting the pelvis, getting that squeeze of the glutes at the top, really trying to drive through the foot and really trying to lock those hips out above me. Great work. Up on your feet. Circuit number 3 is done. Good work, everyone. So like I said, we're taking a load of strength exercises, body weight style. tagging them together and making a circuit out of it, okay? So you should definitely feel like you're working. Your heart rate will be up, but it's not 10-minute workout kind of up, okay? There's not a lot of dynamic exercises. Until now, circuit number 4, step on in. Right, okay, jumping jack shuffles. You're not trying to do a regular jumping jack, as in we're not trying to do big, graceful jumping jacks here. We're just trying to move, and we're trying to move as fast as we can to get the heart rate up as high as we can in 30 seconds. So if you struggle with the coordination, stand up tall. Just imagine a flutter kick with your feet. So I'm on the balls of the feet here, and you can see from the side, I'm not going big steps, little shuffles, it's a shuffle. From here, I'm trying to fly, okay? So what I see people doing wrong on this one is they try to be graceful. So look at the difference in speed. Yep, I'm not after that, I'm just after you. Go as fast as you can like crazy, okay? Get rid of all that stress. Then second exercise, we're down. We're into a Superman. Now remember, a Superman, we're bringing everything up. The only point of contact should be your pelvis. Yep, so I lift up, squeeze, and when I pause, when you pause, it's not a case of stop. I want you to squeeze and try and go even higher throughout that pause. Okay, so we should feel that working pretty damn tough. Finally, it's a burpee without the jump. So a burpee without the jump, because again, it's going to let you focus on coming up, squeezing the butt, pulling the shoulder blades together, standing up tall. Make sure you're drilling that into yourself. Squeeze the butt, chest proud, then down, okay? Everybody, this is your last circuit of the day.
Activity completed.
Soon will be 30 seconds. Stand by. 30 seconds. So jumping jack shuffles. You're not cruising on them. It should feel just like an all-out, flat-out, crazy exercise. Flapping your wings, okay? You're trying to fly. Ready? Circuit number 4. Let's get it done, everybody. You're doing well. 3, 2, 1. Get the feet going, then get the arms moving. And remember, you're just trying to go fast. Your legs are not locked out. Your knees should not be locked out. They should be soft. Not bent, just soft to absorb the impact. Should not feel like you're going to break your knee. And just try to let the arms dictate the speed. So I'm going fast. I'm feeling the wind. Geez, if I go any faster, maybe I might start flying. Good. Supermans. That's how I want you to feel. Keep the arms going. Boom, boom, boom. Fantastic. Straight down. Down. Like a shot. Up. Squeeze. Down. Up. Squeeze. Down. Now remember, don't flop down. Up. Squeeze. Down under control. Don't look directly forward because you'll put a lot of stress on your neck. If you've got a big nose like me, you don't need to look straight down. I'm looking more at, I would say, I don't know, 30 degrees. Good. Just as long as you're not feeling straight into it. Burpees. You're on your feet. You're out. You're up. Squeeze the butt, stand up tall, straight down. Just get in your head. As soon as you feel that butt squeeze, straight back down. How do we get down? We push the hips back. Push the hips back. That's what's going to let us land our hands where our feet are by pushing our hips back. Just like a kettlebell swing. Relax. So now our heart rates are up, everybody. Good. So there's no time. I'll explain it again. Jumping jack shuffles. 3, so get the feet moving. Go. So hit it as hard as you did the first round. This run through, another run through, and then your morning's done. When you're doing these, shoulders shouldn't be shrugging. Keep those shoulder blades together. Think about the shoulder warm-up sequence we do. Don't let the shoulder shrug. Keep the movement in the shoulder joint. Supermans. Down, up, squeeze, down under control. Up, squeeze, down under control. Really focus on squeezing the shoulder blades together. Really focus on squeezing the butt as you lift those legs. And a Superman, if done properly, as you'll know now, it's pretty tough. Burpees, straight up, straight down. So yep, as always, no jump, I'm getting excited. Push the hips back, and that will let you bring the hands down to where the feet are. Whereas if you just fall forward, you're going to end up finding when you do your burpees, each rep you do, you're getting further down the room. And that's why hips back, jump out. Relax, everybody. The final run through, the final circuit of today, okay? This is it. 90 seconds of work. 90 seconds, not long at all. Go. Shuffles, jumping jack style. Fast, let's go. Good work. So again, think about your posture here. Shoulder blades pulled together, pulled down. You should feel the shoulder muscles working here. Shouldn't be shrugging. Loose shoulders flying all over the shop. Get that stability into them. Good. Great work. Fast feet, fast feet. But to be fair, the feet are being controlled by the speed of your arms. Superman's, down we go. Up, squeeze, down the control. Burpees next. Get ready. Straight up, on your feet. Straight down, straight up. Test and adjust and go again. Squeeze the butt straight down. As soon as you feel that butt squeeze and that chest be proud, straight back down. Jump those feet all the way out. You should feel the core, and that includes the lower back. Contracting. Walk around, catch your breath. Big breaths. Shake it all out. And that concludes this morning, everybody. So, digging through the archives again, that's what that circuit was, and that's where it came from. Although last time we done it, it was the 30 circuit, because we get 30 seconds rest. But I remember that being just a bit too much rest, I mean. So, hopefully you enjoyed that. Again, different format. We're taking a bunch of strength exercises, maybe except the last circuit, which is a bit more dynamic. Grouping them together, spend a bit of time on each without rest, gets the heart rate up, gets you working, and hopefully, as always with these exercises, because it's a bit more slower paced, it gives you a chance to fine tune them, think about them a bit more, okay, and get them right. Because some of them are difficult, okay, and some of them are. What I keep saying to people is, people get upset because they can't do a full press up, or they can't do a pull up, or they can't do like body weight exercises. Body weight exercises are advanced, okay? You come in and you do weights, we can scale a bench press down to 5 kilograms, which is easy, okay? But when you're doing press ups, which is the same movement pattern, the same muscle group, suddenly you've got all your body weight, and that's not me insulting you, saying that you're a 10-ton Tessie, but there's a great difference between 5 kilos and all the weight that's now on my arms. So for those of you who do struggle with bodyweight exercises, realise that, yep, some of them are easy, but for most of them, you are putting a lot of load on, you are putting a lot of weight onto your muscles, and that takes time, okay? It takes time to get better at them. You come in to do weight training, you can scale it right down to start at just an empty bar at 5 kilo, and you can each week build the weight up so that it's more tolerable, and you can build your strength in a more controlled manner. Whereas body weight, you've got some exercises like full press ups, pull ups, etc. It's like me coming in, never touched weights, and trying to bench press, I don't know, 60 kilos, for example, and just coming in every week and trying to press it. Eventually, maybe I'll build the strength up, but chances are it'll just be a never-ending circle. So that's why things like press-ups, there's ways to scale it, and again, you can go away if you want to, but it might help someone. If you're struggling with the transition between, right, I can do regular press-ups on the knees, and when I say regular, I mean you're doing them properly, okay? You're setting up the way I tell you. Because actually, the difference between a kneeling press-up and a full press-up, when you do it properly, there's not that much stress difference on the arms. okay? But the problem is people do kneeling press-ups, they do it like this. There's pretty much no weight on the arms at all, okay? And then they try to do a full press-up, okay, and it looks a bit like that. So first of all, if you can tell yourself honestly you're doing your kneeling press-ups nice and strict as best you can, and you're just struggling with the transition between kneeling and full, I'll always tell you, control the descent all the way down, try to press, you might fail, come back up, down under control, because as I keep saying, and maybe you'll hear me, it's that controlled eccentric part of the movement that is damaging the muscles, okay? It's the lowering phase for a lot of movements that are putting the stress on the muscles. That's what makes you sore, okay? Not so much the press, it's the controlled descent. That's why we try to slow exercises down, like we're bench dips, where I'm telling you to go down under control, punch, more time under tension, it's doing more damage, okay? So if you can get stronger using the fact that for most people, you can do the eccentric part of movement. Same with pull-ups. Okay, a lot of people struggle to pull up, but a lot of people could start from here and lower themselves down under some control. Use that to your advantage, okay? You're going to apply that stress and overload to the muscles, so eventually you're going to build up the strength to be able to just hit, do one very messy pull-up, which will then lead to 2, 3, 4 messy pull-ups, and eventually one very good strict pull-up. But my point being is, don't look at bodyweight exercises as being simple and easy, because a lot of them aren't. Okay, a lot of them are hard, and that's why I keep telling you, slow it down, focus on control, focus on technique, because the problem is people find some hard and they do awful things, okay? Some people are doing full press-ups, arms real wide, letting the elbows flare out, and they're doing these crazy, messy things, okay? And all you're doing is you're just going to end up injuring yourself, okay? Try, slow it down, and get better at doing it correctly. Okay, and if that means slowing things down when we're doing a circuit in your own time, I'm not going to start shouting at you on screen for doing controlled descents on your press-ups, okay? But what I do get annoyed is when people are doing full press-ups and they're doing like this, yeah, you're just going to hurt yourself. Try to do them properly, okay? Slow it down. But I'm off on one. I'm off on one. To summarise, bodyweight exercises aren't necessarily easy, okay? A lot of people just look at things like weights and think weights are easier because you can scale it right down to nothing and build it up from nothing, which is a much more productive way to build your strength rather than just jumping in at the deep end. So a lot of people, if you are struggling with full press-ups, etc., realise that you probably should be, okay? And it's not a bad thing. Try to look at these points that, you know, you've got things that you struggle to do and struggle with is an exciting thing. I've got work still to do. There's still things I need to get better at, because you might get to a point one day where you're pretty good at everything and suddenly health and fitness gets a bit boring and you're looking for a new challenge. So try not to get caught up in the things you can't do. Look at them, flip them as a positive and go, well, I can't do it, so that means I've got a lot of work I can still do. I've got something I can challenge myself with. But ultimately, focus on form, technique, do it properly, okay, and you will get better, you will get better. But if you're always defaulting to bad positions, not doing the reps properly, okay, you won't get better. It's like I keep saying, the classic way to describe it is an elbow plank. If you're holding an elbow plank like this, okay, you're not going to feel the core activate. You're just feeling a stress position between your arms and your feet. But if you bring it down, make it tight, an elbow plank is pretty damn hard, and it's hard to hold for a minute, even if you are pretty strong, okay? But the problem is, if you're doing it correctly and you're failing after 10 seconds, that 10 seconds becomes 20 seconds you're doing it properly. Whereas if you're constantly doing it incorrectly, you're not activating the muscles properly, you're not applying that stress to them, then you're never going to get better and you're never going to be able to do them properly. It's like I say, most people, including myself to some degree, we put our effort into the things we're good at because they make us feel good. So we like to do the things we're good at. We like to do maybe the things we're good at in the gym when other people can see us, but the things we're crap at, like maybe pull-ups, because when I used to go to Bannintines, you never saw many people doing pull-ups because most people couldn't do pull-ups. So therefore they didn't want to do them in front of people because they didn't want people to see that they were crap at something, okay? But then you'd get people go, oh, wow, you know, that's so impressive. But that's because you do them and you just chip away at them and you get better at the things you're rubbish at, okay? You've got to work on them too. Anyway, what am I on about? Have a good day, have a good Sunday.